Hello my friends, welcome to this lecture on admission of partner. We are going to solve the second problem. First problem, we had considered the journal as well as ledger and the balance sheet also. Second problem also, they have asked basically the journal, but I'll be considering journal and balance sheet, and therefore I'll also be preparing the ledger accounts. In the examination, you are not supposed to do anything more than what is required. Some working notes may be necessary, but otherwise if the problem is asking you journal, please consider only journal. If the problem is asking you ledger, please prepare only ledger. It is just for our understanding. Since I am teaching the topic to you, I want you to understand the entire process of accounting and posting and preparation of balance sheet. That's why I am considering the journal as well as ledger. In first two problems, I am considering the entire accounting process. Once that is complete, from the next problem onwards, third problem onwards, I'll be focusing myself only on the part which is asked by the question, and I'll not be solving anything more than the question. So that is the policy which you should also remember in examination. So let me start now with the second question. Let me disappear from the screen. Yes. Question number 2, Padma and Kumud will share profits and losses in the ratio of 3:2 in partnership firm. Their balance sheet as on 31st of March 2019 was as under. Balance sheet as on 31st of March 2019, creditors 37,500, bills payable 30,000, bank loans 48,000, general reserve 7,500, capitals of Padma and Kumud 45,000 and 36,000. So total is 81,000. Now be careful, in this problem in the balance sheet they have given us general reserve. Next is bank on the asset side, bills receivable, debtors less RDD. Again one more item on the balance sheet on the asset side. In the balance sheet on the asset side, below debtors we are having RDD also, existing RDD, and then there is stock, furniture, machinery, building. On 1/4/2019, they admitted Asha on the following terms. So new partner's name is Asha. The date of admission is 1/4/2019, that is immediately after 31st March 2019. For half share in profits in future, Asha should bring rupees 30,000 for capital and rupees 15,000 for goodwill in cash. Half of the amount of goodwill is withdrawn by old partners. The stock is to be depreciated by 10% and machinery by 5%. RDD is to be maintained at rupees 3,000. Furniture should be appreciated to rupees 16,050 and building be appreciated by 20%. Pass necessary journal entries in the books of the firm. So they are asking you to pass the journal entries, but we will be preparing journal as well as ledger as well as balance sheet, because this is the second problem. I want you to understand the total process of accounting for admission. Let us consider the observations whatever are there. First one, old partners, old PSR is 3:2. So let me write down the observations. Remember, these observations are not to be written in exam. They are just for you and me. So it will become easy for you to understand how do I think, and it will be easy for you to think on your own in examination hall. Okay, so observations number 1, old PSR is equal to 3:2. Asha is admitted for half share. Asha brings in her capital as well as her share of goodwill in cash. That means it's a premium method. She brings in capital and her share of goodwill in cash. If the new partner is bringing his or her share of goodwill in cash, then we must consider that it is which method? Yes, it is premium method. In premium method there are basically two entries by default. First one, cash account debit to goodwill account. We are selling the goodwill to the new partner. We are giving the benefit of our goodwill which we have generated to the new partner. So we will charge for that. If our house is given to somebody else for using, we ask him to pay rent. If our car is given to somebody else for using, we ask them to pay for the same. Similarly, if somebody else is going to use our goodwill, he will have to pay for the same. So new partner must pay for goodwill. So cash is coming in, goodwill is being given to that fellow. The benefit of goodwill is given to that fellow, new partner. So entry will be cash account debit to goodwill account. Then who generated this goodwill? It was generated by the hard work of the old partners. So it should be transferred to the old partners capital account credit side in their sacrifice ratio. So basic two entries are going to be there. Next one, but adjustment number 2 tells you half of the amount of goodwill is withdrawn by old partners. That means I'll say goodwill is withdrawn, not full goodwill is withdrawn, but half goodwill is withdrawn. Half goodwill is withdrawn by old partners. So there is one more entry which will have to be passed now. It is like drawings. The only thing is that these drawings are based on the amount of goodwill. Many a times students get confused. Sir, since goodwill is withdrawn, that means goodwill is going out. Goodwill is withdrawn does not mean goodwill is going out. Goodwill is withdrawn means cash is going out. If goodwill is going out, it means the reputation of the business will go down. That is never going to happen. The reputation of the business is not going to go down. It is going to remain as it is. Only thing is, this goodwill which is brought in by the new partner, we have already given the credit of the same to the old partner, saying that you have worked hard, so it belongs to you. And then they are saying that since it is belonging to us, since it is brought in by the new partner, let us withdraw some amount of the same. So what they are withdrawing? They are withdrawing some amount. How much amount is withdrawn is depending on the value of goodwill. So the entry will be old partners capital account debit to cash or bank account, and amount will be whatever is the amount of goodwill they have received, half of the same will be debited to their capital account and credited to cash or bank account. I am repeating again. So in this problem, goodwill will have three different things. It is premium method, and the partners are not retaining the goodwill in business, but partners are withdrawing the goodwill from the business, and they are not fully withdrawing it, they are withdrawing half of the same. So there will be three entries. First, cash is coming in and the benefit of goodwill is given to the new partner, cash account debit to goodwill account. Second one, the benefit of goodwill which we have given to the new partner, where did this goodwill come from? Who generated this goodwill? It was generated by old partners. So in reality, the old partners are the givers. So let us transfer this goodwill to old partners capital account credit side. Entry will be goodwill account debit to old partners capital in sacrifice ratio. And thereafter old partners are finding that their capital is increased and their cash is also increased. So they are interested now in withdrawing some amount of cash back to home. How much cash they will withdraw is equal to half of the amount of goodwill they have received. So it is pure cash withdrawal. Entry is old partners capital account debit to cash or bank account. That is how the entry will be passed by us. Okay. Then comes the next part. Stock is to be depreciated by 10%, machinery by 5%. RDD is to be maintained at 3000. Now be careful. The existing balance sheet is already having RDD, and we are required to consider adjustment number 4, which tells you that RDD should be 3000. It means the amount of RDD of rupees 2400 existing RDD is to be increased, and it should go up to 3000. So it was 2400 and it should become 3000. That means it should be increased by 600. It is not the case that the problem does not have any RDD and you are required to create RDD of rupees 3000. The problem already has RDD of 2400 and problem wants to reach up to the RDD of 3000. So 2400 to 3000, you should climb up not 3000 steps, but you should climb up only 600 steps, because you have already completed 2400 steps in the opening balance sheet itself. So what is the implication? The implication is in the closing balance sheet we will have 3000 as RDD, but in the journal entry we will not pass the journal entry of 3000. Instead we will specify journal entry should be of the transaction. journal entry is not of the opening balance, journal entry is not of the closing balance, but journal entry is of the transactions. Opening balance is a position where we reach or where we start from. Closing balance is another position where we are reaching by starting from opening balance. So these are two different positions. Accounts or journal entries are not past of the positions. Journal entries are past for the transactions. From here to there, that is a transaction. So the transaction is from 2400 to 3000. That means transaction is of rupees 600. So remember, in the closing balance sheet, the amount of RDD will be rupees 3000 because that is mentioned in the adjustment. They want the RDD to be 3000. But in the journal entries which they have asked us, the entry will not be passed of 3000. Otherwise, what will happen? Opening balance is 2400 plus you passed the journal entry of 3000. So you will reach at 5400, which is not expected. They want us to reach only at rupees 3000. That means the entry should be passed of rupees 600. I hope everybody has understood it. So the logic to be kept in mind is when it comes to RDD adjustment, and if there is an existing RDD in the balance sheet, then you will have to be careful. Existing RDD represents opening balance. Expected RDD may be given in the adjustment. That may represent closing balance depending upon the language of the problem. And then the difference between these two different RDD balances will be the transaction for which we'll have to pass the journal entry and we'll have to make the ledger posting. So be careful, ledger posting or journal entry should be only of the difference of the transaction, and balance sheet should be of the closing balance. Okay. Next part, furniture should be appreciated to rupees 16,050 and building to be appreciated by 20%. So furniture should be appreciated to 16,050. Again, a small point to be kept in mind. Look into the problem. Let me just disappear. Let me enlarge the problem. Yes. Okay. Now you can see the existing amount of furniture is rupees 14,100. Whereas the expected amount of furniture, what are they telling you? Furniture should be appreciated to 16,050. So appreciated by how much amount, that is not told. They are telling you existing furniture is 14,100, but we want the value of this furniture to become 16,050. Then you decide what is to be done. We'll specify in that case the furniture opening balance is not 0. There is some furniture opening balance. What is the furniture opening balance? 14,100. And it should be how much? It should be appreciated not by 16,050, but it should be appreciated and it should reach up to 16,050. Not appreciated by 16,000, but appreciated up to 16,000. So the journal entry should be of the difference between 14,100 and 16,050. The same logic which we have just now discussed about RDD. RDD's journal entry will be for the difference between 2,400 and 3,000. Because they are expecting RDD is to be maintained. So they are expecting what is the balance to be maintained in balance sheet. If you want to maintain the balance of rupees 3,000, then you should pass the entry for 3,000, but we already have 2,400, then we need not pass the full entry of 3,000. We can pass the entry of only rupees 600. Similarly, furniture should be appreciated to 16,050, so it should reach up to 16,050, but it is not 0. It is already there at rupees 14,100. It means we need not pass the entry for full amount of 16,050, but we'll be passing the entry for difference between 16,050 and 14,100. In the balance sheet, the value of furniture will be rupees 16,050 because that is what it should be. But in the journal entry and in the revaluation account, the entry should not be of 16,050, it will be of the difference between 16,050 and 14,100. So before I go for the next adjustment, let me repeat one more time what is the language of the problem that will have to be read carefully. Problem ni काय सांगितलंय तिकडे नीट लक्ष द्या. फर्निचर कितीनी वाढवायचं आहे त्याच्याबद्दल प्रॉब्लेम काही बोलत नाहीये. तर फर्निचर वाढून कितीपर्यंत पोहोचवून घेऊन जायचं आहे, पोचवायचं आहे. त्याच्याबद्दल प्रॉब्लेम सांगतोय. तो प्रॉब्लेम सांगतोय 14,100 रुपयाचं फर्निचर आहे आणि त्याला वाढवून 16,050 पर्यंत घेऊन जा. म्हणजे 16,050 वाढवू नका, तर वाढवून 16,050 होईल असं समजा. तुम्ही ऑलरेडी आता पहिल्या मजल्यावरती आहात आणि जर का तुम्हाला तिसऱ्या मजल्यावरती जायचं असेल तर तुम्हाला अजून 3 मजले चढायची गरज नाही आहे. मग तुम्हाला 2च मजले चढायला लागतात. यू आर ऑलरेडी ऑन द फर्स्ट फ्लोअर अँड यू वॉन्ट टू गो अप टू द थर्ड फ्लोअर, देन इट डज नॉट मीन दॅट यू शुड अगेन क्लाइंब अप 3 floors. Since you are already on the first floor and if you will climb 3 more floors, you will go on the 4th floor, which you don't want. You wanted to reach up to 3rd floor, that means you should climb up only 2 more floors because you are already on first floor of the building and you want to go up to 3rd floor of the building, so it means you'll have to travel only for 2 floors in between. If you would have been standing at the ground floor, in that case you would have traveled 3 floors. So want to reach up to 3rd floor and standing at 0 floor, then the entry should be of 3,000 and the balance should be of 3,000. The entry should be of 16,050 and the balance should be of 16,050. However, if you are already standing at first floor, then you will have to travel only 2 floors. If you are already standing at 2,400, entry should be of rupees 600. If you are already standing at 14,100, entry should be for the difference between 14,100 and 16,050. I think 1950 it must be. I hope everybody has understood the concept. If you are standing on the 2nd floor and then you are required to go for 3rd floor, then you should travel only 1 floor. If you are standing on the 4th floor and you want to come down to 3rd floor, then you will have to reduce 1 floor. 5th floor to 3rd floor, 2 floors to be reduced. 6th floor to 3rd floor, 3 floors to be reduced. So understand exactly what is the idea. Opening balance tells you where are you standing and closing balance tells you where you want to go. So balance sheet will be talking about opening and closing balance, and journal entry and revaluation account will talk about the actual entry, actual distance which we will be traveling. I hope it is clear to all of you now. And now the last part, I don't want you to get confused. Building be appreciated by 20%. So now they are not telling you where the building should reach, but they are telling you how much you should travel, because the wording is not appreciated to 20%. The wording is appreciated by 20%. It means you will have to increase the building current amount 45,000 by 20% of 45,000, that comes to 9,000. So building inner column 45,000, add to that 9,000, so outer column amount will become 54,000. For furniture it is exactly ulta. Given is 14,100 inner column, given is 16,050 outer column. Difference will be the transaction. Building inner column 45,000, outer column is not given. Instead they are telling you in the inner column add 20%, so outer column will be calculated by us. Outer column is not already given. So language difference, appreciated to, appreciated by. If they are saying appreciated to, that means they are telling us the amount to be written in the outer column of the balance sheet. And appreciated by, that means they are telling you the amount to be considered in the inner column for the purpose of completing the transaction. I hope everybody has understood the concept. Okay, so now you'll have to draw the different ledger accounts. Let me just write down these things here, just a moment. Half of the goodwill is returned by old partners, then existing RDD, and there is adjustment of RDD. Bas, that is more than sufficient. So observations, let me underline, let me highlight it. Remember, these observations are not to be written in examination. They are for you and me for thinking properly. And one can say extra adjustment. What is that? Furniture appreciated to and building appreciated by. Okay. These are the adjustments. Now draw 2 pages of journal. Remember, this side, let me highlight here, this side, date, particulars, LF, debit amount and credit amount. This side is my left hand side page, and this side again, date, particulars, LF, debit amount, credit amount, is my right hand side page. So there are 2 different pages. I have drawn 2 different formats. Okay, when I'll complete this format on the left hand side, then I'll go to the right hand side. This is not debit credit, this is not a ledger account, this is a journal. Since in my PowerPoint slide I am in a position to use the entire slide in a horizontal manner. That's why I am drawing it like this. Okay, you please remember that you are going to consider left hand side as a one full journal. Once complete that particular thing, then we'll start writing on the right hand side. This is not a ledger account, this is not a T format. Okay, just like what we have done in the first question, we are doing the second question. Then balance sheet 3/4 page, and then working note number 1, calculation of ratio, 6 to 8 lines. Working note number 2, revaluation account, 6 to 8 lines. Working note number 3, cash or bank account, 4 to 5 lines. And working note number 4, goodwill account, which I had not prepared in the earlier problem, but in this problem I'm going to prepare it so that you will understand exactly how the entries are happening. Working note number 4, goodwill account, 4 to 5 lines. I'm repeating again, 2 pages for journal, 3/4 page for balance sheet, 6 to 8 lines for working note number 1, calculation of ratios, 6 to 8 lines for revaluation account, 4 to 5 lines for cash or bank account, or you can say even 6 lines also, and 4 to 5 lines for the purpose of goodwill account. Pause the video, draw the accounts, and thereafter resume the video to solve it with me. Okay, let me start now. I'm assuming that you have come back after drawing the things. Let us consider. First step, open necessary ledger accounts. We have seen this particular idea of considering different steps. Let me just show it to you. Admission of a partner. This presentation we have already done. First step, open necessary ledger accounts, we have done it. Second step, transfer of assets and liabilities from the existing balance sheet. Partners capital account should be transferred to partners capital account. Partners current account should go to partners current account. General reserve should go to old partners capital account, credit side in the old PSR. Bank overdraft, bank account, credit side. Other liabilities, if there is adjustment, closing balance sheet liability side, inner column. If there is no adjustment, closing balance sheet liability side, outer column. On the asset side, cash and bank will go to its own account, cash and bank account debit side. If there is partners capital and partners current account coming on the asset side, if any, not in this problem but in some other problem it may come. If it comes, in that case it should go to partners capital account debit side or current account debit side, as the case may be. If on the asset side you have P&L account that represents past undistributed losses, it should be transferred to old partners capital account debit side or in old PSR. Obviously it can be capital account or current account also, depending upon what kind of capital method they are following. If they are following fixed capital method, then it should be transferred to current account. If they are following fluctuating capital method, then it should be transferred to capital account, depending upon the problem. In our problem there is no current account, so if the general reserves are there on liability side, we will transfer it to old partners capital account credit side. And if the general reserves are on debit side, or P&L account is on debit side, sorry for that, then we'll transfer it to old partners capital account debit side. Next, other assets, if there is adjustment, closing balance sheet asset side inner column, and no adjustment, then closing balance sheet asset side outer column. This is second step which we are going to perform now. Second step basically talks about transferring from existing balance sheet to the new balance sheet or to the different ledger accounts which we have prepared. Second step basically talks about transfer from existing balance sheet, just a moment, transfer from existing balance sheet to the new balance sheet which we have prepared or to the ledger accounts which we have prepared. Now in this case, I would like you to understand one very important principle. Very important principle. If you are starting from opening balance sheet, that is the given balance sheet of the problem, and then you are going to the closing balance sheet, that is the answer wala balance sheet which you have prepared, from the given balance sheet, from the problem balance sheet to the answer balance sheet, then only posting is necessary. Ledger account and journal entries are not necessary. Only posting. Start from balance sheet, go to balance sheet. First situation. If you are posting from the problem balance sheet to the ledger accounts which you have prepared, from balance sheet to balance sheet, only posting, no journal entry. From balance sheet to ledger accounts, again same, only posting, no journal entry. But if you are starting from the balance sheet, going into ledger account, but the name of the account in the balance sheet, name of the account in the balance sheet is different from the name of the ledger account in which you are posting, in that case, along with posting, you should also pass journal entry. Confusing? Let me repeat. From the opening balance sheet to the closing balance sheet, only posting, no journal entry. from the opening balance sheet to the ledger account, and the name of the account in the problem balance sheet, name of the account in the solution are exactly same, no journal entry, only posting. And last situation, from the problem balance sheet to the ledger account, but the name of the account in the problem balance sheet and name of the account in the ledger are different, then posting is necessary, but journal entry is also necessary. So why are you telling all these different things? First question was easy, there was no tension. You did not say anything of this sort. Now remember, every question we are going to have one level up. Every question we are going to have some or other type of new adjustment. In this problem, if you had seen it properly, on the balance sheet, in the balance sheet on the liability side you have general reserve. In the balance sheet on the liability side you have general reserve, and just now we have discussed that general reserve should be transferred to old partners capital account credit side in their old PSR. If yes, that means this general reserve is starting from problem balance sheet going into ledger account, but the name of the ledger account in balance sheet is general reserve and name of the ledger account in the solution is partners capital account. That means problem balance sheet ledger account name and solution ledger account name are different. That means we will have to make posting as well as journal entry. Last time I'm repeating, then I'll start with the solution. First one, from problem balance sheet to solution balance sheet, only posting, no entry. From problem balance sheet to ledger account of the same name, only posting, no entry. From problem balance sheet to ledger account having different name, then posting is also necessary as well as journal entry is also necessary. I hope everybody has understood it. I have repeated it almost for 3 times. Come on, be quick now. Let us start. Okay. So first is creditors. Where are we going to transfer creditors? Creditors will be transferred by us if there is any adjustment in inner column or outer column, closing balance sheet liability side. So in the closing balance sheet, first I'll write partners name Padma, Kumud and Asha. Padma, Kumud, Asha. Okay. Next I'll write creditors directly outer column 37,500. Creditors directly outer column 37,500. Next, bills payable directly outer column 30,000 directly outer column. Bills payable 30,000. Next, bank loans 48,000 directly outer column because there is no adjustment. The amount of bank loan was how much? 48,000. So I'll consider 48,000. Now try to understand. The logic is you are starting from problem balance sheet and going into solution balance sheet, only posting, no journal entry. So I did not touch journal. Okay. Next one. Next one is general reserve. It should go to partners capital account credit side. So you are starting from problem balance sheet and you are going to go to partners capital account. That means you are going to ledger. Sir, no posting. Sir, only posting, no journal entry. I'll specify the name of the account in the problem balance sheet is general reserve and the name of the ledger account in which you are going to post is partners capital account. So the name of the account is changing. That means you must go for passing the journal entry first. General reserve is representing old profits before the admission of Asha. That means who are the owners of this old profit? Old partners are the owners of this profit. Who are the old partners? The old partners are Padma and Kumud. They should share this in which ratio? In their old ratio. Because instead of saving it in general reserve, if they would have directly allocated, appropriated, transferred this profit in the past, whenever it was earned, then it could have been transferred to them in the old ratio. So now also we'll transfer it in the old ratio. Journal entry will be general reserve is a liability side item. Liability is required to be cancelled. That means it will have to be debited. General reserve account debit, and it is cancelled and given to whom? It is transferred to Padma and Kumud. Entry will be general reserve account debit to Padma's capital to Kumud's capital. General reserve account debit. What is the date? It is 1/4/19. Okay. So I'll write here 1/4/19. I have kept a font size small for date. Rest of the columns I am keeping it normal font size. Okay. So general reserve account debit to Padma Capital to Kumud's Capital. General reserve account debit to Padma's Capital to Kumud's Capital, and the amount is how much? General reserve amount is 7,500. And Padma and Kumud, the ratio is how much? The ratio is old ratio. Look at the old ratio, 3:2. So let us calculate quickly. 7,500 are to be distributed, are to be divided. 7,500 are to be divided by 5 into 3 for Padma. So that goes to 4,500 for Padma. And then obviously 3,000 for Kumud. Being general reserve transferred to old partners in old PSR, or you can just say being general reserve transferred to old partners in old PSR. Okay, and let us pass the entry posting of the same. First line is obviously going to be buy balance brought down. Let us leave the line for that, buy balance brought down. Below that you will consider buy general reserve, and amount of general reserve is how much? 4,500 and 3,000. 4,500 and 3,000. Padma and Kumud. Asha won't get anything because it is the profit which is undistributed past profit. Asha is a new partner, she cannot get share in the past profit, she can get share in the future profits. Next one, Padma and Kumud capital account 45,000 and 36,000. We will transfer it to partners capital account credit side. 45,000 and 36,000. Buy balance brought down. 45,000 and 36,000. Sir, let us pass journal entry. Now journal entry is not required. Why it is not required? We passed journal entry for general reserve. Then what is the problem with partners capital opening balance? Because the name of the account in the problem balance sheet is capital, and name of the ledger account in the solution is also partners capital. So you are going in your own account. If you are going in your own account, no journal entry is required. If you are going in somebody else's account, then journal entry is required. General reserve, instead of going in general reserve account, the process of admission of partner told us that it should be transferred to partners capital account. So it is going in a different account. That's why we pass the journal entry. I hope everybody has understood the logic. So I can specify liability side is posted properly. Let me consider asset side. Bank 22,500. We are going to bank account. We have already prepared cash or bank account. There is clear cut name bank. So let me remove the name cash. I'll just keep it as bank. And I'll call here to balance brought down. To balance brought down. The amount of balance is rupees how much? Bank is 22,500. So I'll consider 22,500. Next one, bills receivable. I don't think there is any adjustment for bills receivable, so it will go to balance sheet assets side inner column. Bills receivable 11,400. First one is bank. Let me leave the space there, and then I'll write bills receivable. Bills receivable directly outer column 11,400 because there is no adjustment and no journal entry, only posting because problem balance sheet to closing balance sheet, no posting, no journal entry. Next, debtors 62,400 less RDD. Debtors 62,400 less RDD. How much is the amount of RDD that we are going to consider afterwards? Sir, we know it. It is 2,400. Why are you not writing it? Because 2,400 is the amount of RDD on 31st of March. Be careful. 2,400 is the amount of RDD on which date? 31st of March 2019, and they are asking us to do all the different things on 1/4/19, and on that day they have already told that RDD is going to be maintained at 3,000. That means this RDD is no longer going to remain as it is. It is going to change. so I am not writing 2400 in the closing balance sheet. I hope everybody is clear. Don't get confused. This is existing RDD for which there is an adjustment. We have written it here. There is an adjustment of RDD. That's why we are not writing 2400 in closing balance sheet. Stock is 36,000 and there is an adjustment for stock. Machinery is 15,000. There is an adjustment for machinery. And furniture is 14,100. There is adjustment of furniture. Building is 45,000. There is an adjustment for building also. That means all the items now remaining, stock, furniture, machinery and building, everybody must be written in inner column. There is no and we'll have to leave one line below them because everybody is having adjustment. Stock, furniture, machinery and building. Closing balance sheet inner column, stock, leave one line, furniture, leave one line, machinery, leave one line and building. Let us write down their amounts. Amounts are stock is 36,000, furniture is 14,100, 36,000 and 14,100, 36,000 and 14,100. Machinery amount is 15,000 and 45,000, 15,000 15 and 45,000. Okay, so the first part is over. Step number 1, open necessary ledger account is complete. Step number 2, transfer of assets and liabilities is complete. Let us consider step number 3. Step number 3 is capital brought in by new partner. How much is the capital brought in by new partner? The amount of capital brought in by new partner is rupees. Let us check the problem. They have told Asha is admitted for on the following terms. She should bring 30,000 rupees capital. Should bring 30,000 for capital. So cash is coming in. Asha is the giver. Entry will be cash or bank account debit to Asha's capital account. Let us go to the journal. On 1419, Asha madam is bringing capital. 1419. You can say cash or bank account debit to Asha's capital account. And the amount is how much? The amount is 30,000. Should bring 30,000 as capital. 30,000 and then 30,000 being capital brought in. You can write brought in by Asha, etc. No problem. So bank account debit and Asha's capital account credit. Bank account debit and Asha's capital account credit. Let me go to bank account debit side. I'll write there to Asha's capital. Amount is how much? 30,000. Second effect, Asha's capital account credit side by bank. Asha column 30,000. Next one. So we have passed the entry as well as we have posted the ledger effects also. And rupees 15,000 for goodwill in cash. Goodwill is brought in cash. Goodwill is brought in cash. That means it will be always value is new partner share in the firm's goodwill. Very good. The problem has already given the same. Ratio is sacrifice ratio. And entry is cash account debit to old partner's capital account. Okay, goodwill is brought in cash. So I can specify cash account debit to goodwill and goodwill account debit to old partner's capital. So combined entry can be cash account debit to old partner's capital, but we are not going to pass combined entry. We are going to show the separate entries. Entries are cash account debit to goodwill account. Amount is how much? 15,000. In fact, in 4th lecture where I had considered detailed entries for goodwill, here I had mentioned premium method. New partner is bringing his share of goodwill in cash. Then value should be new partner share in firm's goodwill. Ratio should be sacrifice ratio, and journal entries are going to be cash to goodwill, goodwill to old partner's capital, and old partner's capital to cash. Please check this video. Please check the lecture number 4, that is accounting entries for goodwill. You will understand the detailed discussion on the same. Let me now consider only these parts. New partner share in firm's goodwill. Is it given to us? Yes. Sir, they have clearly told that this Asha is bringing in 15,000 for goodwill in cash. So we need not find out what is the amount of firm's goodwill, and out of that for half share how much is Asha's share. It is already given. Asha is bringing in 15,000. In the previous problem which we had solved, they had told you goodwill is valued at rupees 2 lakh. So they had told us what is the firm's goodwill, and they just told Aparna is to bring her share of goodwill in cash. So we decided that 2 lakh is the firm's goodwill and Aparna's share is 1/5. So we specified 2 lakh into 1/5. That is the amount which will have to be brought in by Aparna. But in our problem, they have not given us what is the value of goodwill, but they are straight away telling what is the amount of goodwill brought in by Asha in the form of cash. Straight away. It is not firm's goodwill and then you find out Asha's share. They have already told you Asha's share is so and so. And anyway we wanted Asha's share. So whatever was required by us is already given by the problem. We need not again separately calculate the same. In the previous question, I was required to calculate the same, remember. I had specified that the entry is going to be amount of goodwill is 40,000. Why 40,000? And why not 2 lakh? Reason was 2 lakh was the firm's goodwill and Aparna's share was 1/5. So 2 lakh into 1/5 is equal to 40,000. That is what we had done here. I hope everybody has understood. Okay, that is 1/5 share of goodwill brought in by Aparna, 2 lakh into 1/5. Whereas take the case of our problem. In our problem it is already told 15,000 of goodwill is brought in cash. So we will directly pass the entry for 15,000. We will not consider 15,000 into half because 15,000 itself is for half. Because the transaction is not telling you value of firm's goodwill, the transaction is telling you how much goodwill is brought in cash. I hope everybody has understood the same. Okay, so let me consider now the entry. Entry is cash account. Just a moment. Yes, entry is cash account debit to goodwill account. Amount is 15,000. 1419 1419 cash account debit to goodwill account. Amount is how much? 15,000, being goodwill brought in cash. Being goodwill brought in cash. Okay, next part. Let us make the posting of the same. You can say cash or bank account, because in this problem there is no cash account. They have directly given us a bank account. So I'll say bank account debit side to goodwill, and amount is 15,000. So goodwill account credit side by bank, amount is 15,000. Now you can see here, it's very evident now that there is no balance in goodwill account. Still we have sold 15,000. Before selling anything you must have it. If you want to sell something you should own it, you should have it. But there is no goodwill in balance sheet. Still we have sold it. What you don't have you can't sell. Still you want to sell it, that means you should receive it from somebody. Then this goodwill is given to the firm because firm is selling it to the new partner. This goodwill is given to the firm by whom? Who gave the firm to goodwill? Who gave the goodwill to firm? The goodwill is given to the firm by old partners and their hard work. It is the hard work, dedication, excellence, striving for quality, striving for customer satisfaction by the old partners in the past few years, maybe 5 years, 10 years, whatever the case may be. Since they did like that, since they worked like that, the firm got the reputation. So in reality, this goodwill is the result of old partners' efforts. So this goodwill, it is better to consider that this was coming in from old partners. So we'll say goodwill has gone out, but where did it come from? It came from old partners. So let us transfer it to the old partners capital account credit side. I'll write here to, what are the names of the old partners? I forgot the names. Yes, they are Padma and Kumud. To Padma and to Kumud. So I'll specify to Padma, to Kumud. In which ratio? In their sacrifice ratio. Now what is the sacrifice ratio? That is not given by them. But they have told us that old ratio is 3:2 and they have told us half share in profits in future to be given to Asha. How much of this, how much portion of this half is given by Padma and how much portion of this half is given by Kumud is not mentioned by the problem. In other words, sacrifice done by the old partners is not given by the problem. So we will assume that the old partners are sacrificing in the old ratio itself, but we'll have to prove it to the examiner. Some authors or some professors specify that in such a situation there is no need to prepare the working note for ratios. It's okay, it depends upon you. But since I am interested in making everybody understand the particular working note, that's why in every problem I'm going to prepare that working note. Okay, so working note number 1, calculation of ratios. Whether to write it in the exam or not, that depends upon your college professor, class professor, that you can understand. Here I am not interested in only teaching you for college or class. I am interested in helping you for the purpose of understanding the basic working. So let me write it down here. Working note number 1, step 1. In examination you may skip this working because old ratio and sacrifice ratio is same. Step 1, Asha's share is equal to 1/5, sorry, half. Next, step 2, remaining balance is equal to 1 minus half is equal to half. Step 3 is equal to, what is the step 3? Yes, step 3 is new ratio is equal to old ratio minus, sorry, remaining balance into old ratio. Remaining REMAIN remaining balance into old ratio. So first one is Padma, second one is Kumud, and third one is Asha. Padma, Kumud and Asha. Let me consider Padma's amount. Padma's amount is how much? Remaining balance is half, and her old ratio was, the old ratio of Padma was 3/5. So I'll consider 3/5. Where did I get 5 from? Because if 3 is to be given to Padma, 2 are to be given to Kumud, that means there should be totally 5 pieces available of profit. 3 pieces to be given to Padma, 2 pieces to be given to Kumud, that means you already had 5 pieces of profit. That's what we are considering. So 1/2 into 3/5 is equal to 3/10. Next is Kumud. Next is Kumud. Kumud is how much? Half, and her old ratio was 2/5. That goes to 2/10. So now we can say, let us look at the situation. If we are making 10 pieces of the profit, then 3 pieces will be given to Padma, 2 pieces will be given to Kumud. So in short, 5 pieces are already distributed. Remaining pieces are exactly 5. That becomes 5/10, which is given to Asha. No sir, but we had promised her we'll give her half pieces. Yes, half means if there are 2 pieces we'll give you 1. But now there are no 2 pieces, there are 10 pieces. Out of 2, 1. That means out of 10, 5. 5/10 is nothing but 1/2, half. That means whatever promise we had given to Asha is properly fulfilled. And we have calculated new ratio. What is the new ratio? 3:2:5. Okay. So the new ratio is 3:2:5. Okay. Next one, step number 4. Sacrifice ratio is equal to old ratio minus new ratio. We already know the answer. The answer is going to be 3:2 because the problem has not told us what is the way in which sacrifice is made. If problem is telling us nothing, then it is safe to assume that the old partners have sacrificed in their old ratio. So that is 3:2. Let us cross verify whether our assumption is proper or not, whether our conclusion is proper or not. Step number 4, first one is Padma, and the old ratio of Padma was 3/5, and the new ratio of Padma is 3/10. We can't make this calculation because denominators are not same. So first part of the equation should be multiplied by 2. Then in that case it will become 10. So it will be 6/10 minus 3/10. So answer is equal to 3/10. Next one, Kumud. is equal to 2 by 5 old ratio minus, how much is that, 2 by 10. So first part of the equation should be multiplied by 2, that goes to 4 by 10 minus 2 by 10 is equal to 2 by 10. And Asha cannot sacrifice because Asha is a incoming partner, so she is not sacrificing, in fact she is gaining. So sacrifice ratio is between Padma and Kumud, that is 3:2. And this is what we had already concluded. So our calculation is correct, apna logic is also correct. Okay, good. So I can specify 15,000 to be divided between Padma and Kumud in the ratio of 3:2. 15,000 divided by 5. 15,000 divided by 5. Make the calculation on your own. 15,000 divided by 5 is equal to 3,000 into 3 is equal to 9,000 into 2 is equal to 6,000. So if you look at goodwill account properly, you will understand that your goodwill account is already tallying. Nothing is remaining now. Now to make it easy to understand, I can say how the adjustment of goodwill is done by us. For every other situation, normally we say we have received the asset and we have sold the asset. In case of goodwill, we have done exactly ulta. We have passed the entry for sale first, and then we are saying where did we receive from. For everything else, we are saying furniture is purchased, furniture is sold, stock is purchased, stock is sold. But for goodwill, what did we do? We specified we sold the goodwill, and then from where did we purchase it? From where did we get it? We did not purchase it. Without purchasing, without having, how can you sell it? You must have purchased it. No, we did not purchase goodwill. Then how could you sell it? Because our old partners gave it to us. They worked hard. Okay, so let us transfer it to old partners capital. That is how the things are working for goodwill. For everything else, we say stock is purchased, purchase account debit to creditors account, or maybe purchase account debit to sales to cash account. And afterwards we sell it, we say cash account debit to sales account, or maybe debtors account debit to sales account. So we purchase and then we sell. For goodwill, we sold first and then we said, how could we sell? If we did not have, then we must have purchased it. No, but we did not purchase it. Then you cannot sell it. No, but we sold it. That means you must have received it. If you did not purchase it, still you sold it. That means somebody must have gifted it to you. Somebody must have done it for you. Somebody must have generated it for you. Who is that somebody? That somebody is the old partners. So let us transfer it to the old partners capital account credit side. I hope it is clear to all of you. Okay. So that's a very beautiful adjustment of goodwill. We are required to make the second effect of the same. It will go to, here it is goodwill account debit. That means it will go to partners capital account credit side by by goodwill. Padma column 9,000 and Kumud column 6,000. By goodwill, Padma column 9,000, Kumud column 6,000. So I'll consider here Padma column 9,000 and Kumud column 6,000 and Asha column dash, and I'll call it as by goodwill. Now some of you may feel that sir everything is over. मैं बोलूँगा नहीं, one point is still pending. Goodwill entry is required to be passed. So I'll say 1/4/19 entry is goodwill account debit. Whatever we sold just now, that was coming from whom? Padma capital account and to Kumud's capital account. Goodwill account debit amount is how much? The amount of goodwill is, we have just now considered 15,000, and out of that for Padma it is 9,000, for Kumud it is 6,000, being goodwill transferred to old partners, being goodwill transferred to old partners. Okay, so let me consider this entry is over. Now what I'll do is I'll just reduce this font size here, so it will be easy for me to make some more modifications or increase the number of entries which can be completed in one single slide. Just a second, give me a second for the purpose of changing the font size of these blank columns, blank rows. Always remember, After every journal entry, one row should be left blank. It looks nice, neat and clean in your answer book. So your examiner is happy with you that this student knows exactly what is to be done. That is how we are required to work on. Okay, just a minute. And I'll consider insert, and then I'll consider insert. Yeah, here it is. This one I'm going to consider as 8, and then I'll remove the small size. Yeah, here. Okay, this is the last point which I want to consider. Now what is the next adjustment? The next adjustment is, so we have considered first entry of goodwill, cash account debit to goodwill account, or bank account debit to goodwill account, bank debit side goodwill, goodwill credit side bank. Second entry was goodwill to Padma to Kumud, so entry will be goodwill account debit to Padma to Kumud and partners capital account credit side goodwill. So all these entries are over. Now we are considering next adjustment. Half of the amount of goodwill is withdrawn by the old partners. So now we are not going to go to goodwill account, it is already tallied. We have sold and we got it from whom? From old partners. Okay, goodwill account is tallied. Old partners have given it, that is what we are saying. So old partners capital account is credited. They are saying okay, we were having capital of 45,000 and 36,000. Now our capital is increased. How did it increase? Because the new partner gave us cash for goodwill. Of this cash we are going to withdraw half of the amount. So what is happening? Cash is going out, or money is getting out of bank. And who are the receivers? Padma and Kumud. Then sir, why are they calling it goodwill is withdrawn? They should have said cash is withdrawn. Yes, what you are saying is true. They could have simply said cash is withdrawn. But then you will ask next question, how much cash is withdrawn? Then there are two ways of telling the things. Either you can straight away say this much cash withdrawn by Padma and so much cash withdrawn by Kumud. This is one way. Or you can give a puzzle. Padma withdrew that much cash, which is half of the amount which she received in goodwill. Kumud received that much cash, which is half of the amount she received in goodwill. So in short, they are putting a puzzle to you. They are just relating, coordinating the amount of drawing to the amount of goodwill. Does not mean goodwill account is going to get affected. What is affected is capital and what is affected is cash. Only thing is, instead of telling you the amount straight away in relation to what is withdrawing, they are telling you the amount of drawing by way of a puzzle. The amount of drawing is half of amount received in goodwill. So in short, entry is drawing partners capital account debit to cash or bank account. Amount will be dependent on goodwill amount into half. So 9,000 half is equal to 4,500. 6,000 half is equal to 3,000. That is the amount of goodwill of Padma and Kumud. So in your childhood, when you are talking to your friends, etc., sometimes you go on asking them puzzle. If my age is so and so and my father's age is so and so, then after 10 years what will be the age of my father or mine, or something like that. So what are you doing? You are asking puzzles. Same is the case here. Padma and Kumud are withdrawing or not? Yes. If they are withdrawing, that means entry is, if cash is withdrawn, capital to cash. If goods are withdrawn, capital to goods. Trading account credit side, buy goods withdrawn by partner. Partnership final account topic. Okay sir, they are withdrawing cash. Then entry is capital account debit to cash. How much amount? That I will not tell. Sir, please tell, otherwise I cannot pass the entry. Okay, the amount of cash withdrawn is half of the amount received by them as goodwill. Okay. So it does not mean goodwill account is affected. Affected accounts are capital and cash. Let me go to journal entries. In journal entries, I am going to consider who are the receivers. Padma and Kumud, 1, 4, 19, and I'll pass the entry Padma's capital account debit, Kumud's capital account debit to cash account. Padma's capital account debit, Kumud's capital account debit to cash account, and amount is how much? It will be half of goodwill received by them. So it is 4,500, 3,000, and next one is 7,500. Okay. Let me just reduce the number of lines which are required here, so it will be easy. and then I'll say this one. Shall I reduce this one more? Just a minute. It seems that if I'm going to make it 6, probably this is going to be more easy for me to write it. Just a second. Sorry for that. We are taking more time than what is required because I'm required to fit everything in the single slide which I am considering. So that's why it is taking extra time. Okay. Just a minute. And then there is last one. Yes. So there is sufficient space for the purpose of writing the narration also, and everything will be in one single slide, so it will be easy for you to understand. Being goodwill withdrawn, or I'll say being half of goodwill withdrawn. We'll have to pass the entry for the same now. We have passed the entry, and we'll have to make the posting of the same now. Partners capital account debit side to cash or bank, or you can say to bank. Amount is how much? Half of goodwill, 4,500 and 3,000, and Asha dash. Second effect, bank account credit side by Padma Capital. Amount is how much? 4,500, and by Asha Capital amount is how much? 3,000. Okay, by Padma's capital and by Asha's capital, 4,500 and 3,000. So we have completed first two entries or first two adjustments. Now let us consider the next adjustment. Next adjustment is adjustment number 3. Let me increase the screen size. Yes, here it is. Stock is to be depreciated by 10% and machinery to be depreciated by 5%. Depreciation. Depreciation means reduction in the value of the asset. Depreciation means reduction in the value of the asset. Asset value is going down. What is your opinion? It is a benefit for us or it is a loss for us? Asset value going down is by default loss for us. That means it should be considered as a reduction from the value of asset, and loss should be debited to profit and loss account. But this is not a loss in the regular course of business. This is a loss which is happening at the time of admission, so it should be transferred to a special account called as revaluation account. It can also be called as P&L adjustment account, but we are using the word revaluation account. It's a small spelling, it takes lesser space, so we are calling it as revaluation account. If the problem tells you to use the word P&L adjustment account, then you should use P&L adjustment account. If nothing is mentioned, we can use revaluation account. Okay, so revaluation account should be debited. Revaluation account is a nominal account. Debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. Revaluation account is a cousin brother of your P&L account, so behaves exactly like P&L account, but P&L account is prepared every year. Revaluation account is prepared in some special circumstances like admission of a partner, retirement of a partner, death of a partner. So this is the problem of admission of a partner. The profit or losses at the time of admission should be considered in revaluation account. Since it's a nominal account, debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. Depreciation is a loss. It should be debited to revaluation account debit side. So stock 10%, machinery 5%. Let me go to my answer. Stock 10%. $3,600 and machinery 5%. Now be careful, sometimes the problem does this kind of mischief. If you have seen it properly, the problem has given the items as stock, thereafter furniture and thereafter machinery, but the adjustment is stock and machinery, not stock and furniture. And in the hurry, in examination hall, in a hurry to complete the paper, in a rush to complete the paper, students quickly consider stock 10% and by mistake they make the adjustment in furniture. That should not happen. So read the problem carefully, solve it properly. So 15,000 into 10% is equal to 1,500. We want 5%, that means it will be 750. So outer column will be 14,250. 14,250. Okay. And next one, from 36,000, if you remove 3,000, that becomes 33,000. From 36,000, if you remove 3,000, that is 33,000. and then you remove 600, that is 32,400. So 32,400 is the outer column. Second effect of these two things should be in revaluation account. So revaluation account, it's a loss debit side to stock to machinery. To stock amount was rupees 3,600. To machinery amount was 750. So posting is done, but journal entry is pending. The problem is basically journal. So let me go back to journal 1419. I am passing the entry revaluation account debit to stock account to machinery account. The amount of debit will be how much? We'll consider it afterwards. Let me first of all pass the entry for credit side 3,600 and then 750. So calculate it now. 3,600 plus 750 is your calculation. 3,600 plus 750, 4350. Don't wait for me to write the amount. Please calculate on your own. That is necessary for the purpose of developing good habits in exam and improving your speed. Being assets depreciated. Okay, next one. Posting is also done, so no problem. RDD is to be maintained at rupees 3,000. At rupees 3,000. So I'll say RDD 3,000 here. What is the amount in the outer column? 62,400 minus 3,000. That comes to 59,400. 59,400. Now the question, sir, what is the journal entry to be passed and what is the posting to be done? Remember, we are not standing at the ground floor and going on the third floor. We are not standing at the ground floor and going on the third floor. For stock, we were required to start from scratch. For RDD, we already have some amount. And how much is the amount we already have? The amount which we already have is 2,400. Since you already have 2,400 and now you want to reach up to 3,000, you need not travel 3,000, but you will travel only difference between 2,400 and 3,000, that goes to 600. So the revaluation account entry should be of rupees 600. I hope you have got the idea. So let me pass the entry. Entry is revaluation account debit to RDD account. Just a minute. 1419 revaluation account debit to RDD account. The amount is how much? The amount is 600 and 600, being RDD increased. We are not saying being RDD created because it was already there. We just increased the value. Being RDD increased. Okay. This I'll make a small size now, so it will become easy for me. Let me make it 6. And this one also 6. This one also 6. So there will be sufficient line for multiple entries to be passed. Okay, let me consider now. Okay, very good. Chalo. So revaluation account debit to RDD account. Let us go to revaluation account debit side. I'll write here 2 RDD. Amount is how much? 600. Second effect is already given in balance sheet. But sir, the second effect in balance sheet is 3,000. It's not tallying. In 11th standard we had studied every debit must have equal and corresponding credit. So if the revaluation account is having the effect of 600, then the balance sheet should also have the effect of 600. Just like here, let me consider it like this. Just like, sir, in the case of stock, in balance sheet one effect was 3,600, then in revaluation account other effect was 3,600. Machinery, one effect in revaluation account is 750, then second effect in balance sheet is also of 750. So on the similar lines, if one effect is 3,000 for RDD, then second effect should also be of 3,000. But here it is 600. So sir, it seems that there is some mistake. Every debit must have equal and corresponding credit. The rule is broken. No, the rule is not broken. Here the effect is 600 and here also the effect is 600 only, but originally it was already there as 2,400, to which you added 600, so it became 3,000. So for your convenience, let me write it down here. 2,400 was already there. Just a minute. 2400 was already there, to which I added 600. So second effect is of this 600. 2400 from the original balance sheet. I hope you can understand what I'm speaking now. 2400 is from original balance sheet. 600 is from the adjustment. So ultimately 3000 is the outer column. Clear to all of you? Very good. I'm so happy that you are taking pains to understand these little confusing adjustments. Okay, so 600 is done. Next one. Furniture should be appreciated 2 rupees 16,050. Look into the adjustment number 3, sorry, adjustment number 5. Furniture should be appreciated 2. Appreciated 2 means they are telling you the position where you should reach. You should reach up to 16,050. That means you tell me this is which column amount, inner column amount or outer column amount. Appreciated 2. Appreciated 2 means outer column amount. So I should consider furniture outer column 16,050. 16,050. Furniture outer column 16,050. Just a minute. Okay, yeah, here it is. 16,050. And for building, they have told it should be appreciated by 20%. So by, what is the meaning of that? Inner column ke outer column? They are talking about inner column. So I'll specify it should be appreciated by 20%. That goes to 9,000. So outer column will be 54,000. About furniture, I'll have to identify whether it is appreciation or depreciation. You can think about it. Inner column is 14,100. Outer column is 16,050. That means how much amount is to be added? 16,050 minus 14,100 is equal to 1950 is the amount which I had told earlier. 1950. Now we'll have to pass the journal entry for this 1950 and 9,000. Look at the adjustment again. For furniture, they did not tell you how much is the appreciation, but they told you what is the amount after appreciation. For furniture, they did not tell you what is the amount of appreciation, but they told you what is the amount after appreciation. And for building, they did not tell you the amount after appreciation, but they told you appreciation should be 20%. I hope you can understand how the adjustments are done. So just for the sake of understanding, let me do one more thing. Let me consider it here. Yes, this is copy and I'll paste it here. Just for your understanding, here I was not given 1950, I calculated 1950. This is a balancing figure given by the problem. We were knowing 14,100. Let me show you the arrow marks also. We started from 14,100. We went up to 16,050 and then we started from 16,050. We compared it with 14,500, sorry 14,100. So we came to know that the balancing figure is 1950. I hope everybody has understood the idea now, how the things are working. Okay, this is how the things work. From 14,100 we wanted to go up to 16,050, so the balancing figure is 1950. And for building it is exactly ulta. For building we were knowing already what is the amount of 45,000, what is the increase to be made, and since we are knowing these two different things, then we could find out the third thing. What was the third thing? The third thing is the outer column amount. Okay, so I hope you can understand now how the things are working. See the adjustment. For furniture, we knew what is outer column amount and we found out inner column amount. For building, we knew the inner column amount, so we ultimately ended up in finding out the outer column amount. Just like for debtors, just like for machinery, here also the same thing is there. So for machinery, I have not made any encircling. For building also, I have not made any encircling. I hope everybody has understood the idea. But now journal entries are required to be passed, and second effect of these two different things are required to be given. So furniture appreciation is a profit, asset is going up. Asset going up, cash not going out. Asset going up, no creditors are there. Still value of asset is going up. It's a benefit for us. Benefit should be considered in revaluation account credit side. Same is the case with building. Benefit should be considered in revaluation account credit side. So 9,000 and 1950, both of them should be considered in revaluation account credit side. Let me go to my revaluation account. There I'll write by furniture 1950 and buy building amount is 9000. Okay, so that's what it is. Then comes the next part. Journal entries are required to be passed. Entry will be on 1/4/19. Entry is furniture account debit because it is added. Building account debit. 2. Revaluation account. Furniture account debit 1950. Building account debit 9000. And this is 10,950. Good. Any other adjustment? No other adjustments are there. So if you remember our steps are here. Step 1, 2, 3. 3 is treatment of, step 4 is treatment of goodwill, that is also done by us. Step 5 is revaluation of assets and liabilities. Just now we have completed the same. Step number 6 is close revaluation account, find out profit or loss, transfer it to old partners capital account in their old profit sharing ratio. So that is the step which we are going to do. Close the revaluation account, find out profit or loss, transfer it to old partners only. The old partners are the real people who are entitled for any profit or loss on account of revaluation, because revaluation means bringing the old assets and the old liabilities into their today's market value or up to their today's market value. So this particular profit or loss is not a profit or loss in relation to new partner, because new partner has come today and all these appreciations or depreciations are in relation to that period when new partner was not a partner. Only old partners were the partners. So it should be transferred to old partners capital account or old partners current account. In which ratio? Old ratio. Clear to all of you? So let me consider now. I'll go back to my problem. I'll close my revaluation account. Let me take the total. I think total of credit side is heavy. Total of credit side is how much? 10,000. Just a moment. 10,950. 10,950. Let us find out the balancing figure. 10,950 1950 plus 9,000 minus 3,600 minus 750 and minus 600. Please make your own calculation, don't depend upon me. The answer is rupees 6,000. So 6,000 is the balancing figure which should be transferred to whom? Old partners. And what are the old partners? Padma and Kumud. They are the old partners. Who are the old partners? Padma and Kumud are the old partners. So two partners, PARTNERS, partners capital. In which ratio? Old ratio. What is the old ratio? Old ratio was, we have already seen, 3:2. Okay. So Padma, I'll say 3 and Kumud, I'll say 2. Clear? I hope everybody has understood the concept. $6,000 to be divided by 5. If 6,000 are divided by 5, that goes to 1,200 into 3 is equal to 3,600, and into 2 is equal to 2,400. Yes. Now the point to be kept in mind is, always remember, amount column are right aligned and text columns are left aligned. So please ensure that these columns are looking properly. Amounts are always written in a right aligned manner and text can be written in left aligned manner also. So revaluation account debit side to partners capital. So partners capital account credit side by revaluation. Partners capital account credit side by revaluation. $3,600 and 2,400. And Asha does not have any right to demand any share in past revaluation profit or past revaluation loss. Okay. but I think journal entry is most important because that was asked by the problem. We have not passed it. Let us pass the same. 1 4 19. Entry will be who is the receiver, which account is debited, revaluation account is debited, revaluation account debit to, what are the names of the partner, Padma and Kumud, to Padma's capital, to Kumud's capital. Revaluation account debit was rupees 6,000 and Padma was credited by 3,600 and Kumud was credited by 2,400, being what? Revaluation profit transferred to old partners in old ratio, or you can say old PSR. It is one and the same. Okay, now 6th step is also complete. What is the 7th step? Close remaining accounts, transfer them to the closing balance sheet, and balance sheet should tally. So let us go to our remaining accounts. What are the remaining accounts? Revaluation account is closed, goodwill account is already closed, very good. Bank account is still pending. Let us take the total of bank account. 22,500 plus 30,000 plus 15,000. Let us take the total. 22,500 plus 30,000 plus 15,000 is equal to 67,500. 67,500. From that, Padma and Kumud has already withdrawn some amount of money, that is 7,500 is already gone. So remaining is how much? 60,000. 60,000 is not a given figure, it's a balancing figure, and what I have taught you in the earlier problem also, whenever there is a balancing figure it should be encircled. It becomes easy for us to tell it to the examiner how did we arrive at the figure, by balance carried forward. If it's a balance, it should go to balance sheet asset side. In the balance sheet on the asset side you will write 60,000 directly outer column. Next part, very good. Any other account is pending? Revaluation complete, bank complete, goodwill complete. Yes, partners capital account. Let us take the total of partners capital account. 45,000, 4,500, 9,000 and 3,600. The total is therefore 62,100. Next one, Kumud, 36,000 plus 3,000 plus 6,000 plus 2,400 is equal to 47,400. And then last one is 30,000. So let us take the total on the from the credit side to the debit side, and then I'll write to balance carried forward. From 62,100, from 62,100 deduct 4,500, that is 57,600. From 47,400 deduct 3,000, so what remains is 44,400, and from 30,000 deduct 0. So if some different amount remains, then you'll have to check are you making proper calculations or not. Okay, so the answer remaining is 30,000 for third person. Okay, let me consider next one. These are balancing figures, so balancing figure should be encircled. Done. Let us now write these amounts in the balance sheet. Liabilities side, 57,600, 44,400 and 30,000. 57,600, 44,400 and 30,000. Let us take it to the outer column. 57,600 plus 44,400 plus 30,000. So what remains in the outer column is 1,32,000. 1 lakh, what we get actually speaking, not remains, what we get is 1,32,000. Now let us calculate whether the balance sheet is tallying or not. Let us check it. So the answer 1,32,000 plus 37,500 plus 30,000 and plus 48,000, that comes to 2,47,000 500, and on the asset side you have 60,000 plus 11,400 plus 59,400 plus 32,400 plus 16,050 plus 14,250 and plus 54,000. So the answer is how much? 2,47,500. 2,47,500. Your balance sheet is tallying. Great. Second problem, in a row you have tallied the balance sheet. Lengthy problem. Now remember, in this problem they had asked only for journal. If it so happens in exam that they are asking only for journal, then we must solve only journal. There is no need to prepare ledger, no need to prepare balance sheet. Whatever is asked, only that much should be solved. Since I am considering the teaching part, and since it is the second problem, and since I wanted to show the effect in journal, effect in ledger, posting, inner column, outer column, that's why I have considered this point beyond what is asked in the question. But in examination you need not do all these different things. Whatever is asked, only that must to be done. Journal, journal, ledger, ledger, balance sheet, balance sheet, only journal, only journal, likewise. Okay, so thank you very much. I'm very happy that you have got a very good stamina of studying with me. Almost like 1.5 hours you must be studying with me for single problem. Remember, this much time is not required in exam. In exam the time will be obviously lesser. We are discussing a lot, we are considering different adjustments from earlier PowerPoint presentations, we are writing observations, etc., and we are going beyond what is asked. That's why it is taking more time. In examination it should not take more than 20 to 25 minutes. It will be exactly the same, provided you listen to my first 4 lectures again and again. First 4 lectures may be a little bit difficult to understand, but if you listen to them again and again, solve all the problems with me, you will find it easy. So thank you very much. We'll meet in the next lecture. I'll consider third problem. Okay, bye bye.